to live, because in the aharas, the nutriments that contribute to the continuation of life, living beings, we are sustained by certain conditions, and thoughts are one of them. When we have thinking, it sustains our continuation of our body and our mind. Same with this perception and feeling. When we have perception and feeling that comes together with consciousness, and consciousness is also one of the nutriments for the persistence of life. That's why I believe that these sankharas are connected with the will to live.
Excuse me, one thing I didn't catch it in the beginning, but this is that references, but
12.23. But when you look at this sutta, it's so short. Doesn't give you it's just the bare bones. Any other thing? If you look into Buddhist teachings, you find there are a lot of, for example, meditation teachers. They teach meditation, which is the path to enlightenment, the path to liberation. And yet surprisingly, you find they never explain what is enlightenment. Sometimes they say, like for example, vipassana meditation, the aim is to attain wisdom. But liberation is not attaining wisdom. Liberation is a physical happening, and this physical happening is destruction of the asavas. So surprisingly, you find a lot of monks, they don't explain what is this destruction of the asavas. If they understand destruction of the asavas, then they understand that you cannot have destruction of the asavas, arahanthood, without the jhanas. Because when you enter a state of jhana, you have stopped the flow of asavas for as long as you are in that jhana. So at least you are able, if you abide in jhana for 1 hour, you are able to stop the asavas for 1 hour. If you are able to prolong this length of time you are in jhana, then you have more skill in stopping the asavas. So to be able to destroy the asavas, at least you must be able to stop it for some time, isn't it? So if you don't enter the jhana, you don't have the ability to enter the Buddha's jhana, then you don't have the ability to stop the flow of the asavas, which means you can never become liberated. That's why in the Buddha's teaching, in the Majjhima Nikaya, somebody asked the Venerable Ananda, what type of meditation is praised by the Buddha? What type of meditation is not praised by the Buddha? What did Venerable Ananda say? The type of meditation praised by the Buddha is the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. In other words, only this is Buddhist meditation, And then the type of meditation which is not praised by the Buddha is a type of meditation where the 5 hindrances are not eliminated. But the 5 hindrances are only eliminated when you attain the jhanas. That is quite clear in the suttas. So if you can practice a type of meditation where you cannot stop the asavas from flowing, at least for a certain period, you have no hope of enlightenment, no hope of attaining arahanthood. That's why the Buddha says that the jhanas are the footprints of the Buddha. Sometimes people like to belittle the jhanas, saying these external ascetics, they practice jhana also, they don't become enlightened. Just because they practice jhana, they don't become enlightened, doesn't mean jhana is not necessary. It's because they don't practice all the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. If you use that type of argument, then you can say, these external ascetics, they keep sila, but they never become enlightened, so sila is no use. Isn't it? It's the same kind of logic, isn't it? Sila is not unnecessary, Sila is necessary. But if you practice Sila by itself, you cannot become enlightened. Just like if you practice jhana by itself, you cannot become enlightened. You need all the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path together only will bring you enlightenment. Isn't it? Sometimes this type of silly reasoning they give is not valid.
One thing, Nanda was reported as saying, one of the four methods people become arahants is vipassana and then samatha. But I understand that without the samatha, your vipassana, the mind will be clear enough to do vipassana.
Say again, without what?
Without the clear mind of jhanas, you can't do vipassana properly because the mind is not clear. So I can do vipassana first and then samatha.
See, you must be clear. In the suttas, vipassana is not concerned with meditation. In the suttas, vipassana means contemplation, and contemplation means is actually the seventh factor of the Noble Eightfold Path. Contemplation refers to contemplation of body, feelings, mind and Dhamma. And out of these four objects of contemplation, the most important is the Dhamma. Why? Because it's stated in the suttas that a person attains liberation on 5 occasions. Only 5 occasions a person becomes an arahant. The first one is listening to the sutta, he becomes an arahant. Second one, when he's teaching the sutta, he becomes an arahant. The third one, when he's repeating the sutta, he becomes an arahant. Because the Buddha's time, they had no books. So when they repeat the suttas, it's just like you're reading books now. You keep reading the book again and again. Then you understand more and more. So when they repeat it, they attain arahanthood. The fourth is when they reflect on the Dhamma, they attain arahanthood. The last one is when they meditate, and they meditate on the samadhi nimitta, reflect on it, then they attain arahanthood. So vipassana is the seventh factor of the Noble Eightfold Path. The eighth factor is Sama Samadhi, which is the 4 jhanas. So if you don't practice the 4 jhanas, you're only practicing 7 factors, Okay, so that cannot bring you to enlightenment. Now, Satipatthana is different from Sati. Satipatthana, it is said in the suttas that when you practice the first factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, it will bring you to the second factor. And the second factor will bring you to the third factor, etc. In other words, you start with right view. After you have right view, then you have right thoughts. And right thoughts, because of right thoughts, you have right speech. Because before you speak, you must think. So right thoughts bring you to right speech. And right speech brings you to right action. And right action brings you to right livelihood. And right livelihood brings you to right effort. You start observing your mind, correcting your mental states. And then right effort will bring you to right recollection, which is samasati. Why I use the word recollection means remembering your 4 objects that you should contemplate, the body, feelings, mind and Dhamma. That's why it's called recollection. It is not general mindfulness, It is not mindfulness of other things. Only mindful of 4 things: body, feeling, mind and Dhamma. That is samasati. That's why it's called remembering. Sati is a word that means remembering. Remembering to contemplate these 4 things. And then after you practice samasati, it must bring you to sama samadhi. And how does sama sati bring you to sama samadhi? Nowadays, some monks say sati got nothing to do with samadhi, sati got nothing to do with jhanas, but it has. In the suttas, satipatthana is the link. Sati and satipatthana is different. Satipatthana is the intense state of sati. That means you contemplate one object to the exclusion of everything else. This you can understand from the Satipatthana Sangyutta. In the Sangyutta Nikaya, there's one sutta. In the Satipatthana Samyutta that explains how to practice Satipatthana